My first guest today is singer-songwriter Joe McElderry. Now, he found fame when he won the X Factor in 2009. His single, The Climb, reached number one in the UK and Ireland. He went on to star as Joseph in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And he's released 20 albums since 2009, which is phenomenal. He's back with new music. We'll speak to Joe in a moment, but let's hear his new single out today, Baby Had Your Fun.
The gas, release my runaway heart. Shots down, remembering how to laugh. Gonna tear this joint apart. Fingers through my hair as the sweat runs down. Gonna dance like Prince till I shake this out. Won't stop banging my drum. Gonna paint this town tonight. Rinse every tear from my eyes. Keep it moving.
Joe McElderry, Baby Had Your Fun on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We certainly had fun listening to it. Joe, thank you very much for joining us today to talk about the new single. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoy it. It's so nice to finally hear it on the radio after sitting on it for about 6 months. So it's exciting to hear it now and everybody gets to hear it. It's brilliant.
Well, we enjoyed playing it, certainly. I was thinking sort of a mix of country and disco. Jess, who's producing, felt like she was at a bit of a rave.
I love it. That's what we're going for. All of the above.
But it is a bit of a different direction for you, isn't it? And I wondered how the idea came about.
Well, I've been kind of in the process, obviously, during projects and things along the way of working on new material and things like that. And then something comes along, or you go on tour, or you're filming TV stuff. You have to kind of shelve everything. And then at the beginning of lockdown last year, I was like, it's a perfect chance to get, on Zoom and do writing sessions with people that I've worked with. And we came up with this track, as well as 15 other songs that are all in the can and ready to kind of get in the studio and record them. But when they released the restrictions in the summer, I was like, I want to put something out. I feel like because I can't do much else, it's the perfect time to get some new material out and give people a taste of what's to come. So we did it. We recorded it. We shot a video when you were allowed to kind of do things like that. And then we kind of put everything on hold again after this in the second lockdown. And then I was like, listen, we need to give people something to dance to. So we're going with it. We're going to give them it in the new year and a bit of positivity and a crazy sign.
Well, we were certainly dancing along to it. You mentioned the other songs on the album. Is it a similar sound, Joe?
Yeah, I think, obviously over the years I've done lots of different styles from like opera to musical theatre to pop on my first two albums. But I think this is kind of just, I'm a huge fan of country music, and I'm not going to go all kind of Nashville on everyone, but it's just kind of flares and inspirations of what the music that I like and putting it into my own writing and kind of, pulling in references and inspirations of people that I love to go and see. And we just kind of wanted to put it all into one song as a taster of what else is to come.
Well, I wondered because actually last time we spoke, Joe, it was about Club Tropicana, the musical.
Oh my God, I had so much fun doing that.
Well, it looked like you were having fun. It was brilliant, but I wondered whether you'd been inspired in part by that.
Well, I mean, if you listen to kind of, which obviously you've just heard there, towards the kind of back end of the song, there's kind of that old school 80s synth that we've included in that song. And it kind of rides along with the guitar and creates this kind of, I don't know, like this like wall of sound. So definitely, and 80s music, to me, is some of the best music of all time and best pop tracks, not only with production, but but the way it's written as well. So huge inspiration of mine as well, working on that. And obviously doing a show like Club Tropicana, getting to sing those iconic songs every night, you can't help but have it rub off on you.
Well, I read the reviews and you sparkled is what was written. So very well done for that. I mean, it must have just been euphoric, really, doing that sort of show.
It was, and in a time like this, obviously I did a solo tour straight after that, and that was kind of the last bit of performing in front of an audience that I did, like before the back end of last Christmas, not the one just gone. So it's crazy to think how much has changed in terms of less than 18 months, and I long for the days that we can get back to those raucous audiences of just singing along and joining in, because I do miss it.
Well, you'll certainly find some raucous audiences in Lincolnshire. I know you have visited the county before, Joe, and been to Skegness, so we can't wait to have you back and watch you live. I was thinking, because I actually hadn't crossed my mind, but with Club Tropicana, the musical, I was thinking back at your career, and of course X Factor was 2009, which seems many years ago now. But I'd forgotten you'd performed with George Michael on that, hadn't you?
I did, yeah, I did, which was an incredible moment, absolute legend, but also a huge kind of, for me, I think he's one of the best male vocalists of all time. So as a male singer, to be able to get to say that I've sang with him was incredible. But not only that I sang with him, he was such a lovely person, so generous with his time, and he gave me all of the high bits and the harmonies in the song that showcased me and just made the whole thing about me, which when you think of somebody like of his level of fame and success, you would almost excuse that he might be a bit horrible, but honestly, he was the complete opposite. One of the nicest people I've ever met.
And you were 18? Is that right?
I was 18, yeah. I turned 18 in the summer of the show as we were filming it. And I'm 30 in June this year. It's terrifying.
But I mean, I just wondered, as an 18-year-old, right at the start of your career on a program like the X Factor, how did you feel in those moments just before you sang with George Michael?
Well, me and my mum are huge fans of him, and she was a huge fan. So I grew up around his music all the time. All the albums were playing in the car, in the house and everything. So I was a massive fan of his music. And I think he's one of those people, he's such a legend and an icon that you almost think they're not real, So when I was singing the first opening bars, I always say this, I was standing there waiting to introduce him, and I was thinking, I've just got an awful feeling the doors are going to open and he's just not going to be there, and be like, I'm not singing with him, now I'm going home. But, just to be able to do that within the first kind of 12 weeks of your career is like, I mean, how do you top that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's phenomenal, but you've gone on to have a brilliant career and released so many albums. 20 albums since then, Joe. I think you've released
five. I was 20, but 5 top 20 is probably what you're thinking.
5 top 20. Well, why don't we say 20 top 5?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
We can change that. 20 top 5 albums. There we go. Well, when you reach 20 top 5 albums, we'll talk about that then. But it is lovely to hear your music, and we can't wait to see you perform live. But I know you've been keeping busy in this lockdown period that we've been having, and you've been doing a bit of presenting and chatting and interviews via Zoom, haven't you, with your series Between Me and You?
Yeah, so we've kind of brought my living room's turned into a television studio. I've got cameras and ring lights and all sorts of gadgets and equipment, and we've been doing hour-long kind of chats with friends of mine. We had like John Barrowman, Alexandra Burke, Jade Thurwell from Little Mix, and then also more recently we've been doing online concerts. So kind of pretty much since the summer last year, and we're about to announce some more. So we're doing a single release party tomorrow night online, and then going through February and March every Friday and Saturday, doing online shows so people can come online, they get a link and they come see the show and join us for a night of madness. And sometimes it's not always announced, I do get dressed up in fancy dress as well.
Well, yeah, we'd love to see that, absolutely. But I wondered, because you've done a bit of radio as well over Christmas, whether you'd like to do a bit more presenting.
I do love it, like I love, I like, as you can probably tell, I love talking. So I love talking to people, and I love learning about people's stories and their backgrounds and what they've done and how they got to where they are and things like that, and just hearing everyday stories as well. So I'd love to do a bit more of it, and I'm obviously a fan of the music industry, and having been in it and having an insight of it, I suppose that's a great thing. So I'd love to explore that a little bit and see. But yeah, so if anybody wants to give us a show, I'm definitely available at the minute.
Well, I mean, you are, as you say, it is a strange time, and we can't have the live shows. But I know that you're very close to your family. You've been spending time with them, and I saw a lovely tweet, Joe, when you said that your nan had got her vaccine.
Oh, I know. It's been quite a stressful time for us, because, and I'm sure as it has for everybody else, because Grandma obviously lives on her own. She's over 80. She's quite high risk. She's got a few chest problems, anyways. So, kind of her getting that vaccine the other day is kind of the first step back to some normality, and kind of we're on the right track somehow. And I know it's hard to say that when we see all the numbers and the figures that are flying around, but we have to hold on to some positives, otherwise it'll just drive us all insane. So I just thought it was a really nice thing to kind of share. And a lot of her friends are starting to get it now, and I know quite a lot of my friends who are frontline workers and things, and it's important that we highlight that as well, because it's very easy just to focus on all of the doom and gloom of it all, which it is, but it's a nice little kind of diamond in the rough.
Well, it is, and I know that you'd stunned staff at South Tyneside Hospital with a surprise mini concert after one of our Clap for Carers on the Thursdays. I know this was during the first lockdown, but that was your thank you to them, Joe.
Yeah, we did. We went. Well, I got asked to send a video message in from a friend who was a nurse there that I actually went to school with. She sent just a message. I think it was on Instagram. She said, "Is there any chance you can send a message?" And I thought, you know what? I've got a PA system in the house. And I said, if we keep it top secret and we don't tell anyone so that nobody turns up and nobody's at risk, I'm more than happy to come outside and sing a couple of songs. So we did. We went out, but obviously it was so strange. Like, there was no dressing room. There was no, it was literally plug the thing in through the window, no sound check, and just plug in and go. So it was a strange environment, but the message that I got, that people just really enjoyed it, and it just lifted their spirits. And I think it's the least I can do. All of the stories of all of the incredible NHS workers and carers and frontline workers, it's, it must be an awful time for them, and we have to take our hats off to them.
Well, absolutely, and you always cheer people up. That is what you do, and you'll be doing that when you can come and see us again here in Lincolnshire. Until then, we'll listen to the music, listen to the album, but I can't wait for you to come back and make sure you put some gigs in our county, won't you, Joe, when you can?
Honestly, I am ready, rehearsed, and I'm on standby. As soon as it's safe to do it, I will be out on the road, and I'll definitely be popping by, so I can't wait to see everyone then.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for chatting today about the new single. As I say, we absolutely loved it here. We thought it was brilliant, and a real song to dance to and just shake off the stresses that we're all sort of feeling at the moment. So thank you for that. And again, thank you for chatting.
Thanks. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you for having us.
And you, Joe McElderry there, singer-songwriter, former X Factor winner Joe McElderry with his new single, Baby Had Your Fun. And he has released 5 top 20 albums, not 20, top 5, maybe one day. But nice to speak to him. I know he'll be back in Lincolnshire. He has performed here before, I think in particular in Skegness. So I know he'll be performing here again, and I'll let you know when he does. But until now, you can listen to his new music. That song, by the way, Baby Had Your Fun, released today. It's 24 minutes past 3.
Good morning, this is...